Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And RIP woke media. It's over. It's officially over. Everybody is pivoting back to center, if not to the right, because doing things the woke way, the left-wing way, has not worked out financially for any of these companies.
Shocker.
Shocker. You put socialists and communists in charge of money. This is where you wind up. So there's a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Bari Weiss is gutting CBS News again. And this is probably to get ready for the eventuality that CNN and CBS will probably merge, which means she would be put in charge of that.
Or she'll at least be overseeing it like both or something, because one might be listed as, linear and one's listed as like streaming.
Yeah. But they'll probably be, I'm guessing they'll probably just, for the sake of convenience, share a lot of resources. It doesn't make sense to have like two totally different media outlets, news outlets.
She'll probably see both, yes.
And so we have that happening on one hand. Then we have them flipping out because the Washington Post that Bezos wants to go back to center, laid a bunch of people off. They're hugely mad about that. Then we've got the whole situation with, which I forgot to mention, with BuzzFeed. Somebody mentioned it to me earlier today that they're going to be getting into video games to try to save their ass. But the Huffington Post, people at the Huffington Post which is now owned by BuzzFeed, are concerned for their jobs too.
Yes,
so all these,
as they should be,
all these left-wing pundits that basically were subsidized, and it's amazing. I mean, it is amazing. I thought maybe it was kind of a conspiracy theory at first, but it is amazing that once the USAID money ran out, all these outlets just started shuttering one by one. The dominoes just started to fall over because I don't think any of them were ever sustainable, and the actual audience got pushed away and they went out to podcasts and to YouTube and stuff like that because people are thinking to themselves, like, it can't just be me, right? I'm not crazy, right? This isn't the way things actually are, right? Let's go out to, the podcasters are telling me the truth. But what's up with all the mainstream media outlets?
A lot of people are mad too at the election because they all kept saying, "Oh, he's not going to win. Oh, he's not going to win." She's leading by a whole bunch. And then anybody who with feet on the ground and a head not up their ass would have seen that most people were like completely turned against, the Dems at that point. And he won, whether you like him or not. A lot of people thought he was the lesser of two evils, and that's why they voted for it or whatever. But anybody that, was paying attention could have told you that. But the media lied and kept lying and lying and lying and lying.
Yeah. As they are prone to do, and it was all coming from one side of the aisle, and people believed it. And then I think we had a lot of people's worldviews just completely shattered when reality presented a very different story than what was being presented by the media. So why the hell would you go back for more, right? Because you're being lied to. And I think a lot of people just walked away. We're seeing these late night shows, numbers drop off. Nobody's listening to them anymore. So let's talk about this. And this is actually making the rounds again, this article.
I was going to say, we did this one before. I know we did.
Yeah. We're not going to cover the article, but a couple of years ago, the New York Times said wokeness is dying. We might miss it. No, the only people who are going to miss it are the people in the media that profited off of it. The country was held hostage. Companies were held hostage by it. And it's definitely ending. Now, are we going to swing too far to the right? Yeah, possibly. But, all you had to do was be normal. That's all you had to do.
Yeah,
be truthful,
the majority,
be normal.
we've talked about at length, the most people in the country are, they might lean right, they might lean left, but they're mostly center right, center left. The extremes are a very, very small percentage of the country as a whole. And you kept pandering to like one extreme, and it wasn't enough people to even make it worthwhile. And you're going by these idiots who were trying to tell you that, that's where everybody's at. That's where they all believe in. And you tried it, and then you found out that's not true after several years, till you finally pulled your own head out of your butt and realized that they were full of shit.
Yeah.
Probably
And then we're
from all the shit that was up there.
We're seeing it in media. We're seeing it in entertainment. We're seeing it in, a lot of stuff is going back to center. We're seeing even Disney trying to course correct, cutting certain scenes out of movies and trying to go back to things that, audiences want, presumably. Yeah, it's over. You lost. It's completely over. And for anybody to say differently, like clearly you're not paying attention. Even help Blue Sky. So I went out to Blue Sky, right? The situation that Blue Sky is in right now is that here we go. Blue Sky had to beg for some more venture capital.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that they're down if I got to or not. That they
Yeah,
got
yeah,
a
it was like
bunch more
$100 million
money.
or something. And Blue Sky was supposed to be an alternative to Twitter because Elon Musk came in and bought X. And of course, we found out there's all kinds of bullshit and manipulation and lies at X. And then so all these people jumped ship, went over to Blue Sky. We're going to do it our way. Well, there wasn't nearly enough of them. And they made each other so miserable over there, all the cancel culture, all the microaggressions and bullshit, that a lot of people left and actually went back to X or just did not go back to social media. They fired their CEO because the results weren't there, and I think they probably had to put. But she got demoted. She totally fucking got fired. She got fired.
Well, she got demoted. She still has a job, but yeah.
Yeah, but she got fired from the CEO position, right? And that's probably so they could go out there and beg for more money, because she had a very anti-capitalist streak to her. She's like, we're not going to sell out. We're not going to sell out. Within a week of them putting somebody else in charge, they get $100 million.
Yeah, right.
So they're totally gonna fucking sell.
And how are they going to pay? I mean, you get this thing, but they're going to expect money back, or they're going to expect return on their investment. How are you going to make that happen? You're going to have to start charging for shit, which is going to go real well when you have, the socialism Blue Sky.
This motherfucker pays for Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that. So we're going to talk about all this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do. Woohoo. Coming from the New York Post, I guess we'll go with that. CBS News set to lay off 6% of staff as early as today, as Bari Weiss looks to reshape the newsroom. The reason I brought the New York Times is that the backlash toward Bari Weiss created this. The New York Times, they didn't oust her, but they made it as uncomfortable as possible for her to be there, because she was a wrong thinker, even though she's a gay Jewish woman. And she was a left-winger for a long time. And they made it miserable for her. So then once they got rid of her, she went out on her own, started her own news organization. She kind of had to work in the trenches. And her whole narrative was anti-woke at that point. She's like, it's gone too far. We need to roll it back. And then fast forward a few years later, she hooks up with the Ellisons. They buy her out for like $150 million. They put her in charge of CBS, and now she'll probably also be in charge of CNN too. You made that monster. Like, all you had to do was be normal and not try to cancel Bari Weiss. And now she's gonna be in charge of all you motherfuckers.
Pretty much. They keep trying. They keep trying to get her removed. They keep trying everything they can to smear her. I'm like, that's not going to go very well for you.
No. No.
When you're working there or you want a job later, it's not gonna help your case.
No, and a lot of these people, they've tried to demonize or whatever. I would, if it were me, because I can be a vindictive son of a bitch. Ask my wife. I can be. I would take note of who was out there constantly tweeting shit about me and hoping for me to fail. And then when you come begging, groveling for a job, I will say no. I will say, put the fries in the bag. Please. See,
I get over things quick. Like, I burn hot, but then I forgive people mostly. But he'll hold a grudge for it, literally ever. And he will just wait until you get torched and just laugh maniacally. It's just the whole thing. He actually is pretty nice, though. I mean, that sounds.
I'm usually pretty nice, but
you have to be really, really egregious though for you to get that mad. You're pretty chill.
Some people, you realize that they're never going to leave you alone. They're never going to just quietly go away. So you have to deal with them. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that sounds bad. So you were talking about because of the layoffs. Are these related to the news show thing, or is this something else?
This is So they shut down the radio station completely.
Everybody's mad about this, and here's my thing.
Who listened to it?
Exactly. They're all because the radio. I'm like, were you listening to it before? Well, they provided materials to radio stations. Let's be honest here. Radio is pretty much on its way out. You don't need it because there's podcasts and everything else. Most people don't listen to radio. You might get people in the areas listen to their local radio stations or whatever, like at work. But for the most part, most people listen to podcasts or different things. They don't listen to radio. They listen to Spotify playlists, stuff like that. That's like saying, "Oh, I'm so mad because my horse and buggy, they got rid of horses and buggies and they'll just change everything to cars now." That's what it reminds me of. They're having a hissy about shutting down a dinosaur that is not necessary anymore.
Yeah, and they're just looking to cut costs. And I guarantee you, when they consolidate or buy CNN, there's going to be brutal cost cutting. They're going to basically keep the best of. It's kind of like when you refurbish like a car or even like a, well, we have experience with that arcade machine. Sometimes you have to buy two. You do it with your toys. You have to buy two, and you take the best pieces from the two units you have, and you combine them into one good working unit. And that's what you do with the company too. You buy multiple companies, and you're like, okay, well, this company's got the good accounting department. This company's got the better technology for IT, so we'll keep that. But then you're going to get rid of the redundancies, right?
Yeah, that's what they always do. But this whole thing, they're losing their shit about CBS News Radio. I can't wrap my head around that. It's like this is like I said. It's just like you're losing your shit because they're not using a horse and buggy anymore, and so they decided to go with the car.
They're losing their shit because they lost. Let's be honest. They're losing their shit because woke is dead. And that might even be the title of the fucking
I just
video.
do it just because it would piss certain people
just
off.
Still piss people off. It is dead and buried, and there's no denying it. I mean, look at the media that's coming out now. The movies. It takes a while for this stuff to work its way through the system. You are going to have some quote unquote woke stuff. But I just did a video earlier today. It looks like Hasbro's trying to course correct with Dungeons and Dragons. It looks like they're trying to be like, hey guys, what do you want? It's like, well,
why didn't you care like the last several years?
Why didn't you care when you put out the freaking Rainbow Pride Parade Beholder?
They basically told people that if you're a
party.
toxic piece of crap, we don't want you. And basically what that meant is anybody who didn't identify the extremes as a toxic piece of crap. And that's just it. Like wokeism, and I don't even like using that word. If you follow, I don't like it.
Fuck it, we're using it. Woke. It's woke. It's over.
That's like extreme versions. I don't think that applies to anything else, because some people take it as anything on the left is woke. That's not true.
I think progressivism and liberalism beyond parody is woke.
Yes,
and
or even hitting levels of parody. You can't tell the difference if it's a joke or not.
Is this an Onion article or is this reality? Yeah, and that's
yeah. You've hit woke. You've gone full woke.
And when you had these media, like major media outlets like the New York Times, demonizing gamers, saying that Fortnite was leading children to the alt-right, you are woke. You have gone beyond parody. Like you're not even living in the same world the rest of us are.
It's like not all leftist things are woke, but all wokeism is far left.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. So, and she was on the left, and people that were relatively sane.
I used to be on the left. You used to be on the left.
I still consider
independent. I never changed. Independent.
I still consider myself, for the record, because everybody's like, "What are clownfish? It's politics."
Well, that doesn't matter what you say. They'll just make
it doesn't
up
fucking
shit
matter. You're going to be a Nazi
They
anyway,
identify you, and you doesn't matter if you say otherwise because they've decided. But you have to respect how they identify themselves.
Politics is very simple. I'm still an old school liberal at heart. I believe. Same. Yeah, I believe you. You do you, boo. I don't care what kind of life you're living as long as you're not hurting anybody else. But fiscally, I'm very conservative because I don't believe people should work harder to pay for other people's free shit.
Most people don't have to do anything. Yeah.
Right. That's not fair. That's the wealth redistribution's not fair. I'm not talking about big corporations trying to get out paying taxes. I'm talking about
we believe they should pay their taxes, but yes.
Right. I'm talking about being like, well, you've got more than me. So you go to work, you bust your ass, and I'm just gonna sit here at home and.
Well, I have a problem too with it's kind of unrelated, but I have a problem too. We have billionaires, and we're going to charge them a one-time billionaire tax, and I'm like, no, see that's not fair. I mean, you tax the rich; they're paying their taxes, and they're already paying taxes. Charging them again just to fund your programs isn't right.
Well, I was like that dumb woman from New York, but what's I forget her name.
Oh yeah,
And she's like, it's your patriotic duty to move to New York as a rich American. It's your patriotic duty to
come back because y'all left after I told you to.
Yeah, move to New York after I told you to leave. Come here and pay taxes so we can juice you for
social programs. She said so.
Anyway, California, you couldn't leave. They were going to chase you. If you left the state, they were going to make you pay taxes for years after you left.
That's it. People are leaving, and then you go to another state, and they're going to want to tax you. So how many times are you supposed to pay this one-time tax? You're going to be told to pay it over and over again. That's neither here nor there. My point being is that we were talking about where we like align politically, but it's just. If you don't agree with everything that these extremists say, you are a bigot, hypocrite, whatever, but Islamophobic, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And everybody's over it. Why are you losing? Because your movies didn't do shit. Your games don't do shit. D&D is doing shit. People aren't tuning in. They're tired of being preached at. I see everybody. Doesn't matter if you lean left, lean right. As soon as you think there's a whole bunch of agenda shoved into something, you roll your eyes and you're like, oh my God, here we go again. Unless you're an extremist, most people are just over it. It's just you lost. People just want to go back to normal. I'm not saying it has to go back to the other extreme. It needs to go back to normal. And as far as the radio shutting down, who cares? No one listens to CBS News Radio anyway.
Well, somebody's grandma might. That was that's like NPR too. They're like, God, I can't remember. NPR used to be good in the 90s. You know, it's been a long time since NPR has been good. Now it's just a political mouthpiece. The same thing they're accusing. That's so weird. The same thing they're accusing CBS of being, a political mouthpiece for Trump. All these outlets were just political mouthpieces for the Democratic Party, but they all were. Like literally, like Fox News was like the only conservative outlet. All the other outlets were left wing.
Well, I just don't think you should be either. I think you should just be like, hey, we're just gonna try to tell the truth is, and we're gonna do our best to just give you the facts and be like, hey, here's what the facts are. You decide what that means. It's not our job to tell you how to vote. It's not our job to tell you what everything means. It's our job to tell you here's what's going on, and from that you can decide what you should do.
And that's how it used to be. Like when we were younger, I couldn't tell you what the political leanings of any news outlet were. I really couldn't, because it was just, here's the news.
Yeah.
That's it.
You didn't know what every individual person, definitely. You didn't know what your teachers, how they voted, unless they like told you or had like some kind of, pins or something up for somebody. You didn't know anything because it wasn't the time or place for that. So it's going back to center. Everything's going back to center, and it might go to the right because it's a pendulum swing, and might go too far the other way.
It might.
But it will settle back at center at some point.
At some point, I think out of necessity, because here's the thing, you cannot. They're going for the largest possible audience share, and if that election map in 2024 is any indication, it's definitely not blue. Right?
Well, in PA, it was so bad, the Amish came out to vote.
Yeah,
they were carting Amish in to vote, and they're partly crediting it swinging red because of the Amish, because people are just so over it. The reason everybody showed up was because they're over it. And in general, like I'm seeing post of people like, I used to be an activist. I used to be far, far left. But now I'm like, either I'm independent or I'm leaning right now because I'm so tired. I made one mistake and they're dogpiling me, or, you can't pass their purity tests and all this stuff. And it's like that. But Hollywood, why is Hollywood failing? Why are the Oscars ratings down? Hollywood's trying to reverse course. The culture war, which I didn't like. I never referred to that.
Culture war.
The culture war. Like they have people like, oh, you guys lost. It's like, no, you didn't, because the fact of the matter is, if there is such a thing, it's definitely everything's reversing. It's all everything they've done the last few years. They are trying to walk it back and change it as fast as possible, because they can't keep going on, negative and just on good vibes and negative dollars. So it's not going to happen.
Good vibes and negative dollars. Oh my God. This right here. Here we have a watchdog progressive group, right? Bari Weiss is a destructive force in media. What is the end game here? They want to control the narrative. They don't want to put honest journalism out there for the masses.
Like there's, you fuck yourself. Like you're implying, the implication is that there has been honest journalism in the last few years, and clearly there hasn't been, because y'all were literally stunned when and the people were caught really off guard. You didn't win because y'all fucking lied right and left. I can't tell you how many times. There's a lot of people who've moved because they're like so tired of your bullshit. You don't get to say that. Like, oh, for heaven's sakes. Because we wanted realism. We wanted the truth. I'm like, no, they're trying to go back to the truth. You're just pissed because it's not your narrative. Just like X. Y'all left it with the blue sky because, oh my God, we can't control everything. We can't shadow ban everyone. We can't tell them that they're lying, call them names and get them banned. We have to actually stand on the truth and what's real. We can't just make shit up.
Yeah, and how did that...
Sorry for yelling, but I'm so tired of that lie narrative. So tired of it.
And how did that end for them? The CEO got demoted. They brought a dude in, and they had to go beg for more money. This is the business model for left-wing media, has been begging for money. Like here, you go up here, and they're like, oh, compare over in England. Look, the BBC just got more funding. It's like, yeah, where's it coming from? The taxpayers is where it's coming from.
The BBC is a little... It's in the UK. If it goes extreme in the UK, that they reward that.
Yes.
Like the UK at this point in time, and it is possible, what we're being told, because we don't live there, is we're just getting it secondhand from the media and stuff, as it's possible that it's skewed. But from my understanding and social media, it's like you're not allowed to even have said something 5 years ago they think it might be bad because they'll come to your house and make threats. This is fucking ridiculous. I wouldn't use BBC as an example.
This is funny, though. We got more cartoon avatars here. Everything the right wing touches gets ruined or dies.
Okay,
It's
let's have fun. Take Trixie. Okay, Trixie, let's talk about that. Because all the Hollywood movies are doing so well, right? All the reposted shows that you just gender swap, race swap, stuck a chicken, it made it gay and lame. They did so fantastic, right, Trixie? Everybody's so being lectured at by the Oscar and the celebrities that those award shows are hitting record numbers, right, Trixie?
Yeah, it's look, you killed it. You killed. The left had complete control of the media for 15 years.
Is this on Blue Sky?
It's on Blue Sky.
Oh, that explains everything.
Yeah, these people ran away.
I literally saw somebody. Okay, so I guess Fetterman, the Pennsylvania Fetterman, said that there's a lot of TDS in other Democrats, and he's not wrong, because it gets to a point where, like, once upon a time, if someone had a good idea, it didn't matter what side it was on. You'd reach a compromise, where everybody met in the middle, but they wouldn't like turn down a good idea just because the other side thought of it. And we're to a place now where that's what happens. And people unironically were saying, TDS isn't real. And then the comments they were making as they're saying that was just proving that TDS was real with all their comments. Like, they're like, it's not real. And then they proceed to make these comments.
Trump!
They proceed to make comments afterwards. And it's like, yeah, thanks, Marie Callender. Thanks, Donald Trump. I burned my pie.
Oh,
but
my
that's
God.
what it was like. And I was just like laughing. And I even said, you do realize you're saying that, but you're proving it right with every comment you're making on this thread. And that's what this reminds me of. It's an echo chamber of stupidity.
Yeah. This person here is like, they're failing badly. It's just a relic of the past. It's like, well, they had, Walter Cronkite. I'm like, yeah, decades ago.
Yeah,
Edward R. Murrow, decades ago.
Then. Like, decades ago, you had news radio. Decades ago, Walter Cronkite and co. and them, they still tried to report fairly. You know? There's a big difference. And there are probably other people that are young idiots who weren't even around decades ago to know what was going on and how it was. They only know what it is like now.
So Blue Sky users said they're going to boycott CBS News. Oh my God!
Go ahead. I don't think they're really going to. You know what? That implies you ever watched them to begin with.
So Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, owner of the Washington Post, he has been cleaning house as well. They're complaining about that. And Jeff Bezos is not a right winger. I don't consider him a right winger.
No, nice people are.
He's a businessman. You have to fucking make money. Where do you think the money comes from? If people aren't buying your paper, they're not buying advertising. They're afraid to be, they're afraid of your damn journalists. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you think the money's going to come from? Oh, the government. The government is just going to give us money.
You know what's funny to me? Like, that's what I keep thinking. Like, well, the business is supposed to just keep running in the negative just because it funds your opinion.
Yeah.
It's funny to me these celebrities go to these events and have these massive opinions. I don't see them not taking the money, though. I don't see them taking all the money and giving it to the people they're claiming that they're fighting for. Do you?
Yeah,
they might give some money to causes, but I don't see them saying, oh, take my whole salary and use it for this. Like, but I'm going to lecture everybody else about the environment as I'm sitting here, while they throw the red carpet in the garbage. I'm going to leave all the plastic bottles and garbage right here for somebody else to clean up. But, but the environment, guys, you're a bunch of hypocritical dipshits.
So Bezos is actually more of a libertarian. He says libertarian pro-business.
That's what you are. I mean, if we're being honest, you lean more libertarian pro-business, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I think I'm more libertarian than you are. I mean, so we do have
more
our
independent. I just pick what I like from different things and then call out bullshit when I see it.
I'm definitely, like I said, I don't really give a shit what a person does, even if I think it's the weirdest damn thing. It's not my place to tell you how to run your personal life. As long
my
as
rule is just: are you an asshole? If no, then we're Are you? Well, as long as you're not doing like pedo things. As long as you're not doing. Well,
that's what I'm saying. As long as you're not hurting anybody else,
then we're gonna get along fine.
And if you're a school marm and you're constantly trying to lecture, moralize, and whatever, grandstand, whatever, we're not going to get along.
You know what? I just call people out, so it doesn't matter.
So, but they're mad because, this whole thing goes back to them wanting to endorse Harris, and he wouldn't do it. And he's like, it's like, well, if you don't do it, it's going to turn off subscribers. Like, I don't care. The paper has been losing money forever. All these outlets have been losing money for years
because couldn't lose more money than they already lost.
Right.
You already ran all the good customers out for these dipshits anyway.
And that's the thing. That's what they're not fundamentally not understanding. Like the reason you're in the position you're in right now is they did it your way. You chased off all the normal people. You chased off all the money. And And now it's like, you know what? First chance people get there, like, yep, that's it. We're done with woke. We're tossing these people overboard.
Yeah, because they're hoping the people they lost come back.
They're hoping. I don't know if they will or not, but like BuzzFeed, they're completely fucked too. They're so desperate. Apparently, they're trying to do video games now. I'm like, you are like way late to that party. Like that is some desperate shit.
Wait, their AI slot games are inspired by Nintendo?
Supposedly. Let's see. What's this? This is Kotaku. So BuzzFeed is going to do.
Hey, to be fair, real quick, to Kotaku's credit, they've actually tried to turn things back to center there, I've noticed.
Yeah, they're a little more balanced, I think, at Kotaku than they used to be. They still have a
leaning, but they seem like they're trying harder to be less polarizing.
Well, they got sold. I don't think it's about trying. I think their owners told them.
Well, then they got rid of people.
Yeah. I think their owners told them, we need to make money. And if you're out there attacking game devs over politics, or you're out there, crying about Trump during a PlayStation 5 review, we're going to have a problem. And this shit was going on. And Kotaku and Polygon, they were ground zero. You want to talk about Gamergate? That's where Gamergate started because of this bullshit. And, so many video game outlets have gone under. And right now, because of the situation with Google, if you're a digital media outlet, you cannot afford to lose anybody. You can't afford to lose anybody because it is really hard to get found out there. But no, what's going on is a course correction, and they can't stand it because they've been in charge for 15 years, and it's over. It's ending. But yeah, they're using AI for this mobile game, Conjure. That's what they're going to use to save themselves. What?
But okay.
We're going to be like the next
that
Nintendo.
One thing? Is that thing where it was like going to imitate games and like? Is that one?
Let's see. It asks you for daily photographs of stuff in the real world, chooses whether to accept them or not, and then starts building up weird, creepypasta lore around the submissions. What?
Wait, what's that? That has to do with game. What's that have to do with games?
It is a game. They said our guiding philosophy comes from Nintendo. What? But it's all AI. So I don't know. Like, look, they're desperately trying to figure out something because what they've been doing isn't working. They own the Huffington Post. And I was going to look up and see if there's something going on with because I just saw the other day that the Huffington Post is like freaking the fuck out now too. Now all I see is there. Yeah, that's Inside Baseball. Apparently they think things are going to be bad. But that's okay. They kind of deserve it, right?
Yeah.
I think they all deserve it. So it's like, you just want people to lose their jobs. Like, no, I don't think people should get paid to lie. It's big bucks to lie, make people miserable, and try to get people canceled. I don't think you should get paid for that. We're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.